Hello everybody, what's going on? And welcome to the second video of today. And welcome back then to the My Player Career mode. If you've seen the previous video, you know that we have got this Norwich team back into the promised land of the Premier League, finishing second in the Championship last season. So today's the day that potentially we make our Premier League debut. Now, I'm going to go show you all of the winners of the other leagues around the world, just in case we want to entertain an offer from somewhere else. I want to be knowing who is playing Champions League football, who's playing Europa League football, and who isn't playing continental football at all, in case that maybe swings our decision somewhere else. But I will say, today we have a lot of offers on the table. I think there's about 6, 7, maybe even 8 teams all interested in signing us from this Norwich team. We'll discuss those offers once they come through, and we'll see what eventually does happen today, as I'm showing you the Champions League winners and the Europa League winners as well, so we know who's done what. But heading into the new season then, first year back for Norwich, my first ever season in the Premier League as well. I wasn't really sure what the plan was for us here, so I asked for a transfer. The only reason I did that is because I believe that is the only way you actually get any offers from clubs. I've never had it where I haven't been transfer listed and got an offer anyway, so that's what I think you need to do in order to get them. So I did that purely to see who was interested. And I take a look at the Norwich team here. I mean, you can see, right? Nobody's expecting us to be in the top 10 this year. This is a team that's probably built for a relegation fight, most likely, maybe a bit higher than that. So, you know, looking at this team, nobody's expecting us to take this league by storm and go on a really ridiculous run and end up in the Champions League places, for example. So this is where the decision has to be made. You know, do we stick it out here at Norwich, try and see what we can do with them in this first Prem season, or if the right offer comes, do we go? Now, I will say, the offers that you're going to see, I'm sure many of you would have taken these offers and potentially ran with them. And our decision that we end up making, hopefully you guys will understand why I make that decision and where we end up. But, for example, Liverpool, right at the start of this, was a fantastic offer. There's no denying that. Playing under Jurgen Klopp at Anfield would be pretty cool. But, at the same time, I looked at their team and I didn't really think to myself that, yeah, I want to go play there. It didn't really shout out to me. The same with Spurs. I was checking teams in and around this, and I said that, you know, if a Premier League club came in, it would have to be the right fit, and I didn't feel like Liverpool or Spurs really was for us at this current time anyway. Then the third offer came. It was from Inter Milan in the Serie A. They finished second last season behind Juventus, and at this point I was thinking maybe this would be quite a cool place to play our football next season. And then I took another look at their team, found they had 2 really good cams already in James Rodriguez and Julian Draxler, and I said, nope, I am not going. I want to be playing first team football. I don't want to go to a team where there's already going to be 3 of us fighting it out for that starting spot. There's no way. I want to know that I will be playing. So as soon as I saw that, went back in, said, thank you for the offer, but I'm going to be respectfully turning it down. So that was 3 offers on the table already from Liverpool, Spurs and Inter, all rejected. And then we ended up heading off into our first ever Premier League game, which came against Bournemouth away at the Vitality Stadium. By the way, for the purpose of this episode, I am going to be doing it post-com. That's because I wasn't sure what was going to happen to us with our future. So I didn't want to do it live just because I wanted to know and be able to put it all into a video. And it was quite a long time recording this, actually, nearly 2 hours or so of this, heading through all the offers. And you're about to see, I think, 5 games in total. But into the action then. Our first ever Premier League game as a professional footballer. And let's just say it didn't start off the way I was hoping that it was going to. Dan Juma put Bournemouth ahead after 15 minutes. But credit where credit is due, we didn't just sit back in this game and accept our fate of potentially losing, because we got an equaliser 5 minutes later when Dermich converted our pass through to make it 1-1. So I was thinking, yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting game for us here. Quite a test as well, already after 20 minutes to see 2 goals go in. And we were in front 35 minutes in. Tom Tribal with a phenomenal volley inside Bournemouth's area after we put a cross into the box. And I tell you what, playing in the Premier League, the speed at which this game was going, it just felt so comfortable for me in the game. I have to say that. I felt like I struggled a couple of times last season in the Championship maybe, but I just felt right at home in this first Premier League game. And that cross into the box, Tribal, man, I take my hat off to him. What a finish it was on the volley. So, first game in the Prem, we not only led in the game, but we come back from behind to do it. And let's just say Bournemouth weren't too happy with that as they tried to find an equaliser themselves. Joshua King, his header only just going wide of the post. And then in the second half, they looked to pile the pressure on. Danjuma, some great work as he found the ball back towards the feet of Divock Origi, who forced our goalkeeper into a smart save. And full time, Bournemouth 1, Norwich 2 at the Vitality Stadium from behind to win our first game in the Premier League. 3 points, 1 game, 1 win. I did not expect to see that. So, coming away from the game, I was looking at that going, well, you know what? Let's just see what happens. We then had Arsenal a few days later, and there was no offer in between, excuse me, the Bournemouth game and this Arsenal match. So, we went straight into it. And looking at the Arsenal team, I have to say, it's very underwhelming. I wasn't really too worried heading into this game. We were at home, our first home game in the Prem. And we looked the better team for the first half, as Buendia's header narrowly only missing the target as Arsenal went close 17 minutes in. Martinez had scored 2 in the opening day game for them. Couldn't quite find a good enough shot to beat our keeper there. But 22 minutes in, a mistake at the back. And this is where I think, I looked at this moment here for Arsenal, and this is where the hard work pays off. Because last year in the Championship, I'd have just given that up and we'd have said, okay, that's going to be an Arsenal goal from a Ret Sos mistake. But that time I said, no, I'm going to get back in there and make sure that ball doesn't go into our goal. And we got our reward 22 minutes from time, sending Carrow Road into rupture, bursting through, firing past Bert Leno into the bottom right corner. Norwich 1, Arsenal 0. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. We'd not only come back to beat Bournemouth, but we are now leading against Arsenal. 2 games in, 2 wins. 6 points from 6. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves for a second, right? I understand this isn't your Manchester Cities, your Liverpools, your Man Uniteds, your Chelseas. But Arsenal, to beat them as well at home and actually probably be the better team here, you would say, is very, very good from us. I know, obviously, in real life, Arsenal struggling, not having the best season. But at least in the game, you know, to beat them like we did, I know it's a very slender 1-0 win, but it's still a win nonetheless. So, 2 wins from 2. Is it really time to maybe start dreaming? And then this happened, right? And this is the one where I feel like a lot of you are going to be very upset with me. Barcelona, the offer on the table, £300,000 a week. The opportunity to play with the best player in world football, Messi. Now, this one was the hard one. This is the hardest decision I had to make throughout the time of looking at these offers on the table. You can see I even went back in. I stalled it again because I just didn't know what to do. And I took a look at their team. Messi still there, Ciro Immobile. They have one of the best midfielders in the world in Frankie de Jong. They just won the Champions League. So it was such a difficult decision. And I come to you guys to say, what would you have done in this position here? What would you have gone for? Would you have accepted this Barcelona deal? I mean, I didn't know what to do. So I gave myself a few minutes to kind of look through this and think it over. And eventually I decided that, you know what? As good as an opportunity it is on this particular occasion, I was going to have to turn it down. The chance to play with Messi, and I turned it down. You can call me crazy, but something about this Norwich project just kept me here. And Spurs were the next team. And this is the game where I thought to myself, this is the real test. If we can put in a display against Spurs here, maybe it isn't crazy for us to think that we could potentially push for some continental football this season. But turning down Barcelona is not something you do every day. So hopefully the Norwich fans were happy with me for doing that, because they must have surely thought I was out the exit door there and heading straight to the Nou Camp or Camp Nou to be playing with Messi. But turned it down, and Spurs, Kane started this game off lively. He hit the post. Our best chance of this came from a Buendia free kick. It wasn't really that close, though, to find the back of the net. But 60 minutes in, we'd given Tottenham a very, very good game here. Nice move here, saved by our goalkeeper with 16 minutes to go. At this stage, 0-0 in the game. I'm thinking what a result this would be. But we actually had a chance to take all 3 points here as we got down this right-hand side, breaking away. And with a minute to play, Spurs, they were trying to get bodies back. We found the ball. Buendia laid it off towards Leitner. and he couldn't keep his effort down. But all in all, what a result here from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 0-0 against one of the teams who would be pushing for a top 4 spot this season. Yes, please. And I think it's safe to say as well, after that Spurs game and the turning down of the Barcelona offer, that my heart and my head was set on staying here with Norwich. Now, listen, I believe in the project. I've said that I'll give them until January, and then at January we'll see where we're at. If, you know, we have dropped off or we're not where maybe I want to be, then we can always leave in January. But there was still time in the window, so there's still, you know, one offer. I said to myself, there was one team that if they made an offer, I couldn't turn it down. I'm not going to reveal who that team is, just in case they do make an offer. I might reveal it at a later stage. But at this point, we had Burnley, and looking at how we were playing, I felt like this could be another win for us on the board. And I hit the post just after the half-an-hour mark. And, yeah, we were really pushing in this game at Carrow Road here. And we actually did have another opportunity with Timu Pukki managing to find a shot, only to be denied by Nick Pope. The ball bouncing back, but the offside flag saving Burnley from us being able to put it in. Burnley sending across in towards our penalty area, 30 minutes from time. Herrera's clearance on this right-hand side. This is an area I'll look to try and use effectively here this season, especially as we won't get too many chances in the Premier League. Great pick out. Pukki's there. Norwich in front. Do you believe, ladies and gentlemen? Are you believing in the project with Norwich? I can see you in the comment section saying, DJ, how could you turn down Barcelona? Why would you turn down Liverpool? That's because I believe in this Norwich team. I believe we can at least get into the top 10 this year. Maybe even continental football. And maybe I am being a bit foolish believing in that. But something is clicking with this Norwich team as we've started off the season here. And I don't quite know what it is, but it certainly is working for us. So another win on the board. 3 wins, 1 draw from our opening 4 games in the Prem. That's an incredible start for us. 5 hours to go in deadline day. Napoli came calling. No, thank you. Not interested. Already turned down Inter Milan, and they were second in the league. Then Bayern came calling. Again, no thank you. If I was going to Germany, it would have to be the likes of Dortmund, maybe Bayer Leverkusen, somebody like that. I wouldn't go to Bayern. It's just too simple. You know, they win the league every year. So where's the fun in that? So 2 hours to go in deadline day. The clock was ticking. Would there be one more move on the card? Or would it be the Norwich staying for DJWood this year? And there is the offer from Bayern. As I said, 200k a week. Instantly turned it down. Wasn't interested. And that's it, my friends. Transfer deadline day ended. So, wow. The amount of offers on the table, and we turned all of them down. Was it the right call? Was it the wrong call? You guys will have your opinion. Hopefully, you understand why I've made that decision from the start that Norwich have made. I just want to see where we can take this Norwich team. And like I said, if January rolls around, we're not happy, we can always leave the club. But there was one more game to show you of action. It was with England away on international duty. I think there's 2 more World Cup qualifiers to come. This one against Sweden. And then, is it Slovenia is the last game? I'm not picked for the Slovenia one. We played the first one this time in the game against Sweden. Scored a goal as well. A fantastic goal it was too. Smashing it in from the edge of the area. The goalkeeper nowhere near the shot. We ended up winning this by 2-0 though, as we set up Raheem Sterling not too long after for him to find the finish. Here is that goal on the turn. Quick pass through. Sterling does the rest. What a player Raheem Sterling is as well. So, yeah, comfortable for England at this point. 35 minutes in, we were running the show. But as I mentioned, it does finish 2-0. And that meant as well that we topped our World Cup qualifier group, regardless of the result in the last game. I think we were mathematically secure. Although we did win it 2-0, Sweden did have one chance. Pickford basically had nothing to do all game up until the 55th minute. Shot from the edge of the area, and he actually did save it pretty well. But, yeah, Sweden very, very poor. And England, as you'd expect, came out as victors. But as we come to a close for today's episode, I said about the team that would, had they have come calling, I probably would have gone. And I know some of you are going to be asking me who that team is. Well, I looked around and I saw in La Liga that Atletico had finished in 3rd. And I said, if they came in, I hadn't yet played for Atletico in any My Player career mode that I've done. At least I don't think I have. And usually you always go to Real Madrid, to Barcelona, those type of teams. I thought to myself, I really like the idea of maybe playing for Atletico, but they never came in with an offer. So, as far as I was concerned, anything else just wasn't interesting to me. So, fingers crossed that if it isn't going our way with Norwich, in January, if we are to leave, Atletico are the team that make an offer. But to show you then, as we end off today, the Premier League table, Norwich are 5th after 4 games have been played. What a start, my friends. And I'm going to say, I'm just very excited to see what we can actually do. And hopefully you are as well. Premier League top scorers. We're not in there, but we've got the most assists. We've had a hand in all 4 of Norwich's goals in the Prem since their return, which shows you how important we are to this Norwich team. If we leave, they're probably heading straight back to the Championship next season. So they need us, and I kind of want to see what we can do with them. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, a like would be greatly appreciated. A massive thank you as well for all of the support on the channel. If you are new around here, like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Were we right? Were we wrong? Let me know what you guys are thinking. But until next time, have a great day, have a great evening, and I will see you all again with another video very soon. Adios.